Hey, Scorpios, welcome back. All right, so Scorpios, we're going to jump on into a highly specific message. So I'm going to put in a lot of whatever little details pop up that make it more fun or less fun. I don't know, but I feel compelled to do that. And I am going for the topic of what is somebody thinking about Scorpio? What are they remembering? How did they see a situation? And we start out with, I don't know if Scorpio had a pretty sharp tongue. They think that Scorpio has had a mind like a freaking diamond. They do see that Scorpio has a way to, I'll say, cut them down. Oh God, that song by Mumford and Sons, Wild Heart. No one is better armed than you to cut me with a sleight of the tongue comes to mind. A great song, though, great band. But it does immediately look like they see Scorpio as someone who in an instant can cut through to the heart of the matter. Also someone who in an instant has possibly I'm not going to say like dark exactly, but Scorpio could have like a wicked sense of humor, like wickedly sharp, or they may put like a spin on things that are not necessarily pessimistic, but I could see like snarky or just a way with words that comes across where like Scorpio's wit has a very particular flavor to it. Now, they may also think that Scorpio has something kind of magical about them. We see that an ancestor does indeed hover over Scorpio. So either they knew one of Scorpio's like family members and it's like, man, you got that trait from, your grandpa, you got that trait from somebody, or they simply sense. There could be a particular animal that always like comes around Scorpio and they even think of Scorpio in context with that. Sure, it could be an owl, doesn't have to be. I'm thinking though that Scorpio has some downright look at owls are night hunters. This all has a darker energy to it, so I'm thinking that there's something about the nighttime and Scorpio and the things that Scorpio says, whether that's sexy suggestive or whether that's sharp wit, or maybe they love talking to Scorpio late at night on the phone, but it all feels like Scorpio has a certain way about them. Scorpio could have white hair, blonde hair, platinum hair, dyed hair, long hair, wearing a wig, something along those lines. Scorpio may have, or they've known Scorpio for a long time. Sometimes the length of hair to me is just how long they've known Scorpio. Again, with this very sharp star, this Scorpio is kind, okay? They are, but they see Scorpio as a queen of swords and then also as the star. So we have a lot of mental acuity, and it's almost like they think Scorpio can see into the future a little bit, but unfortunately sometimes they can also see the worst that is coming and be like a barometer for negativity. But I also think that there's this powerful sense of healing, sensitivity. I think they see Scorpio as somebody who's a great planner, somebody who can, like, if they work in an industry where they manage a lot of people, Scorpio can project what's going to happen in the next 3 months. Like, those two people won't be here anymore. That person is going to turn out to be excellent. Put some more extra training into them. They're going to be a rising star. They could work in HR. They could be really good at cutting down to people's true motives. And I think that whomever this is, who's either in love with Scorpio or thinking about Scorpio right now, they know Scorpio can see right through people. Scorpio is kind though, but they also have there is a pessimism here, maybe because they can see through to people's real intentions, and you can't help but be like, yeah, got to roll my eyes on that one. Again, Scorpio has like this miraculous, like every time we see Scorpio, we see something emanating or something around their head. So I'm going to say that their crown chakra is off the charts. I do think that this person their mind is blown by how intelligent Scorpio is. And I do think they mostly, first and foremost, they say Scorpio's brilliance is amazing. But I also think Scorpio is very capable of like making things better. They could run a company. They could do something that would improve the world. Eight of Swords, they think Scorpio's talents are being hemmed in far too much, or even they think that Scorpio does not see their brilliance the way they do. Scorpio has some kind of a hang up, some kind of something that hampers them. Now, this is something up in the cloud. Maybe they think that Scorpio's mind gets clouded by something. Maybe they even think Scorpio like uses something that clouds their mind, listens too much to somebody else who has a negative self-talk. Or, this could be that they wish Scorpio would stop smoking. We see clouds around them. It feels like someone really adores who Scorpio is, has incredible admiration for their mind, their intellect, their power. But I do think there is like a little voice that says negative things to Scorpio, or Scorpio insists on listening to like the devil on their shoulder just a little bit when it comes to how empowered they really are. Again, maybe this is just a Scorpio who's, the reason they're so good at reading people's true intentions is because they've known some villains. And it could be that there is a pain that Scorpio still carries with them. And whomever this person is, they understand all this about Scorpio. Liberation. Oh man, this person, all they want really is to see our Scorpio completely like blossom into, this is somebody who's like totally a cheerleader for Scorpio, but they want Scorpio to be free of whatever that is and truly claim their place. If there is any shyness, or if there is any stage fright, or if there is any like, I don't want to, be the public speaker. I mean, this could be somebody who wants Scorpio to run for public office. And they're like, Scorpio, you would be amazing. Scorpio's like, no. This is somebody who totally believes in Scorpio. Whomever they are, I don't know what their relationship is to Scorpio just yet, but they think the world of Scorpio. And they feel like when Scorpio chooses to transform one more time in one more way, this is the Judgment card. And then they call it liberation here. As Scorpio just kind of blossoms and comes into their own, they think that Scorpio will be unstoppable. I feel like Scorpio, they've shown up as a lot of different ethnicities. And so I'm feeling like Scorpio may have like lived in different areas around the world. They may be multilingual or bilingual at minimum. They may be somebody who has like two parents that are from different backgrounds. And even though Scorpio is very much an adult, by the way, Scorpio comes across as a divine feminine, but I'm wondering if Scorpio has like a couple of different identities that they were raised with. And that's where they're also like coming into their own. And I do feel like there's something that a character who really adores Scorpio is so aware of Scorpio's brilliance and what has made them who they are today. But when Scorpio takes a hold of their own personal identity, they will be unstoppable. There is something more that our Scorpio is supposed to achieve. Who is this person who, I mean, I love the way that they love Scorpio. Sacred Feminine and the Sun. Okay, so this could be the story of somebody who is actually either a mother figure, a grandmother figure. They could be a divine feminine. So this is the Empress. And we have sacred geometry all around this. This could be a teacher or a mentor. This could be Scorpio's boss. This could be somebody that Scorpio has, not that they've been mentoring Scorpio. I don't really feel like Scorpio needs mentoring. And I feel like that's what this is. Somebody is like, Scorpio is amazing. They're the brightest pupil I've ever had. They're the brightest person I've ever worked with. They're the most intelligent person I've ever worked with. Look, this person adores Scorpio. But although we have this feminine energy, this is actually, when we bring in the Sun, we have the energy of the masculine. So this could be somebody who wants to nurture Scorpio. They have like so much respect for Scorpio. Scorpio makes them really happy too, but they know that they've never met somebody like Scorpio before. But they could actually be a masculine in a nurturing energy. And I just want to put that out there because this is, I mean, both of these are major arcana, but we have equally as powerful masculine and feminine energies coming off of this person. My impression, just because the Sun is so much more luminous, but in both cases, we have like the corona of the Sun radiating outward, right? We have the corona of light radiating like a saint from behind, like, Our Lady of Guadalupe here. And then we have, them emanating light and energy as the Sun as well. So I'm going to say that this character who thinks so highly of Scorpio, they could be famous. They could be somebody who's reached great heights in their own life, and they are seeing Scorpio as somebody who's just like they are, just the same. They could be someone who's like already made their way in this world to a certain extent. I'm wondering though, if they had a lot of support. It feels like they have a lot of followers. They have a lot of, if they're financially stable, it may be because they actually have this huge interwoven network and they could have been born into that. I'm not saying that they didn't also earn it by being talented and hardworking, because this is a person who does very, very well. And they're also very generous, and they're also very intelligent, and they're also very warm and very loving. So I'm not saying this is like a silver spoon baby that just got everything handed to them. Um, I'm just saying that they have done very well for themselves, but admittedly, their network they could have had the fortune of already being placed in a really wonderful network, or they've worked really hard to create it. I can't help but think that they have two sides to it. They may be new influential people, and that's how they got a great leg up in life. Maybe that's why they want so much to help Scorpio get a leg up in life, or why they respect Scorpio's brain so much, because it's like Scorpio's a visionary, Scorpio's a mover shaker, Scorpio's straightforward, and they absolutely deserve to run with the big dogs. Scorpio could be just as powerful as whatever I've become in my own arena. I see Scorpio as somebody who's just absolutely like raw talent is how it comes across. What do you want with Scorpio? What is it that you want with Scorpio? By the way, this person could have like wild hair, or there is something about them that could be like particularly like something emanates from them, whether it's their aura. Maybe they have kind of like a golden aura, but we also have that violet, blue, indigo that kind of goes along with third eye chakra. So I'm picturing that this person, like, they could be very good at conversation. And remember, that's one thing that it almost feels like Scorpio might not be as great at, communicating in front of crowds or something, even though they have a lot to say and they're sharp and they're witty and they're intelligent, but they may not like talking to other people. This individual may have to talk to crowds. Like, let's use this as an example. Say this is a musician who's already like doing really, really well. Scorpio is an incredible raw talent, but they're like, I don't want to perform in front of people. I don't like that. And this person is like, you got to, because your music's too good. You'd be amazing. You'd be famous. Like, you are a talent. You need to get out there and show your talent. I haven't seen something like you in a long time. You're going to be amazing. It feels kind of like that support. But I said, what is it that they want with Scorpio? And we have the 10 of Pentacles. They feel like Scorpio is one of their herd, one of their kind. I'm hearing in excess, right? You're one of my kind. This is in excess, right? Or is it Escape Club? Sometimes I mix the two. No, Escape Club is Wild Wild West, right? This feels like they just know Scorpio belongs in their club, in their group, but they also would like to do business with Scorpio. I really do get this vibe of tons of respect, but they are Scorpio's big cheerleading section that wants Scorpio to do something that they're talented at, but they may want to go into business with Scorpio. And I'm not saying that they want to make money off of Scorpio. I think that they do see the potential for everybody to grow and everybody to do great things together. But more than anything, it's like they'll never forget Scorpio. That Scorpio is somebody who will be indelibly etched on their memory. And very few people make that kind of an impact on this person. 10 of Wands, Mastery of Cups. Okay, so yes, they want to nurture. Yes, they feel emotional bonds, but they also do love Scorpio. They're coming. This is actually, although we have a feminine here, this is a King of Cups. And this individual, Scorpio, they see themselves as an amazing match for Scorpio, but they're not trying to come on too strong. If anything, they perhaps actually have, as gregarious as they come across, as supportive as they are, as even sometimes pushy as they could be, they themselves may have a bit of woundedness or shyness. They're a very sensitive person. I do feel like this could be an artist, but they themselves maybe have had some secret like loneliness in their life. I don't know if they didn't have a strong bond with a parental figure, possibly a mother figure, someone who drove them really hard to be successful, but didn't really nurture the emotional side. And over the years, they are a deeply emotional person, but maybe they have shifted their need for emotion into success and, being really sunshiny and happy. I'm sorry, I don't know why, but I just feel like this person's persona would be like, oh gosh, like almost a comedic kind of energy, really friendly, really boisterous, like oh gosh, what's his name? One of the Jimmys. Jimmy Fallon. That's the person's face who comes to mind right now. Somebody who's like, can talk to anybody and be really jovial and make everybody feel really good and really celebrated and respectful and just that kind of vibe. It just feels like that might be their persona, but that may be because they didn't have emotional support, so they give it to other people all the time. However, they've also been very, very, very successful and they've done very well. But I think somebody pushed them really hard in life to do really well, but not necessarily gave them the emotional support. At this point, I feel like maybe that's why they find Scorpio's wit so appealing. Maybe that's why they understand if Scorpio still holds back a little bit. Maybe they think Scorpio also is like this brilliant, soothing, sharp-witted, but someone who still kind of has their own element of like not quite having the support around them. That could explain why they want so badly to support Scorpio, because they maybe are seeing something in themselves in Scorpio that they'd love to heal, they'd love to lift up. But it's also whether or not they've admitted this to themselves yet. It's because they're in love with Scorpio. This is actually a King of Cups. It never matters to me what genders we're talking about, but they would like to, in this case, like they're very attracted to Scorpio, but it's in an emotional way where they feel safe, like they could really open up to Scorpio because they feel like they understand something about Scorpio. So this is somebody who thinks that they've kind of figured Scorpio out, even though it's not like they were sitting around like, let me like evaluate you, let me like pull you apart and psychoanalyze you. I just think that there is something within them that recognizes something within Scorpio, and that has become an element that they really care about Scorpio. They may look amazing in blue. Somebody could either like octopuses, octopi. I don't know what the plural of that is right now. I don't think that they eat octopus, though, is the crazy part. They're such intelligent creatures. But I feel like this individual has a tremendous sensitivity. They could be a bit of a foodie, or they like wine tasting. They like tasting because octopus taste the world with their suckers. And I just feel like there's something here about, this is so weird and specific also, but they may, if they are like a foodie, they may have like a thing about all the different flavors of salt, the Himalayan salt, the black salt, that, they may specifically have like a salt bar or something to enhance food. There's this, they might really like seafood, but I feel like they are an individual who is all about the nuances. Even though they're big and gregarious and external, they're actually all about the subtleties and the nuances as well. So they may have a palate to taste the different kinds of salts. And I know that's really specific, but that is the point of this storyline. Is I wanted to go ahead and do a dive on whatever we see that's highly detailed. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving this a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye, Scorpios.